Realize I haven't mod the Quack and Smite League 2 Twitch to mod the Quack and Smite League 1 Twitch. Uh, I gotta edit that. I do. Wait, am I on the right one? Okay.
Just be right back.
I'm just editing the minors teams as we speak. Since let's done. There we go. I think we're just waiting on Battle Royale. Oh shit, we're already into picks and bans. So on we have Gilgamesh, Athena, and Set coming out on the Ferryman side, and we have a Suki, a Morgan, and a Tiamat coming out on the other side. Very standard bans so far. Morgan Le Fay, just becoming available, so now probably going to see a lot of bans.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Tsukiyomi band out all that much, but he is a very strong character. I mean, his ultimate is great for getting to the back line, doing a lot of damage, immunes himself, mitigates some damage himself. All those range autos that he's capable of throwing after all his abilities give him a lot of distance that he could still be dangerous over. I like it as a ban. Question is, what did they leave up that they banned Tsukuyomi that I'm missing here?
Well, they have Soul Fruit. I don't. Solo might end up going to the mid lane, or maybe to the carry lane.
Are you talking to? I want to play Fortnite. I thought you were going to be muted, being cameraman.
You can play that.
All right.
Where do you go?
Don't worry about it. I can adjust my microphone volume so they can't hear you.
All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to go now. And then I'm loading it. Fortnite.
There you go.
We do not support Fortnite on this stream.
I don't know. She enjoys it. I support what she enjoys. Okay. We do see the Cullen picked up there for the solo lane, and we already know that that's going to Moose. That is their one confirmed pick here.
Yeah. Argue is arguably the best solo laner right now for all he brings to the table. Constant health regeneration when he gets that blue buff online. Great source of consistent damage and dive potential. Fits into any team comp really well.
He does fit into any team comp extremely well, and not only that, and we do see a Sobek. I don't think that's in Wolfman Sam's wheelhouse.
Wolfman Sam?
I thought he was a Horus One Trick, didn't you?
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
But maybe they're trying to pick it for the Awilix. I could see that. I mean, if he's a support main, he probably has at least some competence on the rest of the Guardians.
We hope. We do see the King Arthur still hooked up on the Ferryman side, which King Arthur, a respectable solo lane,
Right. He's
Go ahead.
no, he is going to be able to put out a lot of the damage just like the Arthur is. He doesn't bring as much as the scare factor because his damage comes out over a longer period of time. But he definitely could put out the same amount as a Kukulkan.
Yeah, and then we do see Scylla being picked up here, and Scylla is one of those burst mages where if you get 1-2 ulted, you're dead. Especially if you're a squishy. You're not living.
You're shitty.
Right.
I'm shitty now. Oh, your mic is shitty. Just stay on Messenger.
Where's this?
The stream would like Poe to know that some things are shitty. A Nemesis and Odin ban. All right. And a Raijin Apollo ban. Okay. I like all those. Raijin ban takes it out of Peaceful's wheelhouse. We have seen him play that before. And Artemis is going to be getting picked up for Chaos. I've seen him favor that a lot recently.
Let the
He does
hunt
excel
begin.
on the Artemis too. Like he does, and Artemis is a very meta pick right now, especially with that bow build that allows a lot of
They can't read
burst.
that's what I was telling the
Big
Taylor.
numbers.
Twit said, yeah, that's what Nathan said. Nathan said you said I hate him. I was like, Just saying I hate him when I can't add him when he's blocked. Or when I
What the? Uh, what is going on here?
Your
Is this a
chances to win the
Mulan
fight have
support?
diminished.
Can you still hear me?
so loading.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. And then Rat and Mulan.
I'm calling Mulan support with a rat jungle Arthur solo.
I do believe you would be right. And Anubis?
Please, peaceful. I love it. Please
Lock her in. Let's see what you can do.
do it, buddy boy. Make me a happy man. Ah, you always troll me.
The
I'm just
Yanis?
saying, if you hover that Anubis in one more game, I will demand that you actually play it.
I'm already demanding that be played. You know, he has shown what he can do on an 8-battle mage.
Right, especially when it's been out for so long. So they pick up the Giannis here, gives him a lot of mobility.
Yeah,
I don't think Wolfman can play Sobek.
I have. Let me.
I think Wolfman is a lot better on different Guardians.
Even then, come on. Horse one trick.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a lot of missed plucks here. That's what
I
I'm.
do believe so.
A lot of mixed plucks, but we'll see how he goes. Now, giving it to just purely based off team comp, I don't like this double warrior coming out of the blue side, out of the ferrymen. I'm gonna slightly give the edge to the knights right now, just purely based off God's pick.
I do agree with you there, and the Soul ADC is going to lose late game to the boat. We do see that it's going. We know that's going to happen, but Soul early game is going to beat that Artemis.
Oh yeah,
Senna
should.
against should.
Well, see, a lot of things people don't understand is that Soul's early clear can be almost negated if your support is willing to eat that too. Because you can stop it from hitting the wave. You just get in her face, eat the 2, there goes your clear, and now you have lane pressure.
That is very true, and but it requires a willing support. It requires a willing sacrifice.
I know Sam, he will always get on the pyre to be the sacrifice.
I mean, when you're the support, you kind of are the first option for sacrifice. You know, the
That
team's
is.
chanting sacrifice when you go up.
We shall remember you with honor. And we'll hold a banquet for you.
Yeah, and then Artemis did go through to the second round, which means they weren't afraid of Artemis. Do you think that's a good choice?
I think Chaos is just so comfortable with Artemis that even if they camp him, he's going to become irrelevant at some point.
Yeah,
Now, what I want to see personally is this Ratatosker go the crit build and just eviscerate Chaos in 2 moves.
I mean, if the thing though about if Rat goes the crit build, he is giving up a lot of other options like the 5 acorns and the acorn that removes protections with the spin, and you can spin twice.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it, but you do. If you go the crit build, you're hoping that the enemy support he can force a spectral out on a Sobek.
Right, and now that and that's a dunce item because they have a soul, so like it's only going to be good against him. It doesn't. I don't think him going crit would actually proc them to pick up a spectral. I don't think it would be enough that they would consider grabbing it. Also, that crit will really hurt. Like if you dash to Artemis and auto, and both of those crit, that's a dead Artemis. I had to fight that last week in a game. Dash for 1,000, auto for 800. Bam, dead. It is ridiculous. As far as gank potential goes, I like Rat's global gank better than I like a Wheelix's gank.
I do agree with you there. 100%, I do agree with you.
For as far as team fights go, what I imagine is going to happen here is that Peace Peaceful is a good enough player to utilize the Giannis portals well enough that he's going to start portaling this Kakulin and this Awilix into places that the Ferrymen don't want them to be. So as long as somebody has good command over these portals coming out of Peaceful here, I'm foreseeing bad things for the Ferrymen.
You should see him. Oh wait, he's. Oh no, that's Repo. Okay. Add Taylor. I forgot to use main chat.
All right, and we are going into the game here, and what are you looking to see? At least starting this week, we know both solos are building Bluestone because King Arthur plus Bluestone just goes burr. Sort of legend at this point to go Bluestone on King Arthur.
All the pots coming out of Cullen, as per standard. Same with King Arthur, like you said. We see a Vamp Shroud coming out of the Scylla, and I think we saw him pick that up last game that he played on the Zeus. Oh no, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong team here. Raptor with the Vamp Shroud. Yep, super derp. Giannis picking the Conduit gem because he knows Scylla just has better clear than he does to try and get some of them bad back. He also picks up 3 mana pots, which I, as a mid lane, don't like to do that because it curbs a lot of your sustainability. But we'll see how that works out for him.
I think Soul left that a little too soon there. Took a little bit longer, but she did manage to get to the purple buff in time there.
Right, I want to see what happens with that initial clear. Yep, and like he said, he eats it, and there goes her clear on the wave. Now they win that early pressure.
It does take a little bit of time, but...
Yeah, well, there, he has level 2 now. Bam, there you go. There's the pluck. No, Chaos. Chaos throwing that with the miss trap. Unfortunate.
Could have been her early first blood, but they are lower than Wolfman and Chaos.
Right, and I mean, if we look at it, the Mulan has Benevolence, while Sam has Sentinel. There's another pluck. If we could get a good Hell Arrow into a trap, not gonna happen, unfortunate, but...
Also interested, Soul went Vamp Shroud instead of Death's Toll.
Right, that's... But does it increase her boxing potential? Because now she has physical defense?
It might. Blue Chaos missing.
Sam is in trouble here. The shell coming out. But Sam is going to go down for that first blood. Can Terminator pick up Chaos here? If he gets a good 2 around the corner, he might be able to grab it.
I don't know if he has enough.
Oh, it's not enough as the regeneration from that health pot brings him just above the death threshold.
Chaos did pop beads there in case he wanted.
Right, he didn't want to get slowed.
And he was going in on Giannis with Giannis portal, so damage them.
Right.
Obelix is going back to farm. We do see that Goody is just making sure his camps are used on time and not leaving anything up to the invasion.
Right, Kakolin did choose to go Blink, which is now coming off cooldown, as did Rat. So the Ferryman will have that Rat Blink to now do any upcoming engagement. Totem, honestly, something that is very important just for sustainability from your team.
Yeah, it's good. Portal not get caught out in that lane. Just every bit of damage in that mid lane can win or lose that lane, especially against someone like Scylla.
Right.
Overstaying the welcome can also.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do because that's something that could keep you online or throw you even farther behind. King Arthur needs to be careful here as the rage form of Kakulin is 3/4 of the way there to be proccing.
And Rage from Kakulin is one of those that actually can't be outboxed.
No, he just that aura free mystical mail that he pretty much gets is super hard to deal with.
Infinitely proc off his
I believe it does too.
So you're just constantly taking blue stuff.
Exactly. And when they double it by just building a mystical mail, because why not at that point? He's just aura taking you. He doesn't even have to hit you. You're just taking 60 damage every second. Oh, just out of range. That is unfortunate. That would have been a very good kill on that King Arthur if she would have been in range right there.
Yep, and we do see Obelix did try to gank there. He had his ult over there to hopefully try to secure something, but no such avail.
Totem going the way of the knights for this.
King Arthur in a little bit of trouble, you know, he doesn't have the sustainability that Color.
Right. Right. Yeah, he's out of health pots now. His chalice is empty while Cucullin has a continuous HP 5 from that blue buff. Rat is now ulting, trying to catch Chaos out. We can see that is a good double ult. But Tusky to the rescue. Does this stun happen? No stun, no bow shot. Chaos is going to get out scot-free.
He did have that stun did hit.
That he did.
And this rat is out of mana. It kind of looks like a free death, and then Lacey back.
Eats will definitely looking for this rat right now, but I don't think they're going to get anything off of this. Just going to clear the wave, take your wave tax, and head back to farming.
Didn't gank at all, but still attacks.
Oh, always got attacks. Oh, of course not. It's might as well take it if nobody else was.
Yep. And it's interesting that because of that first one,
Right, this first blood just gives so much money and experience. It's something you always want to have in your corner. Wheelix gonna tell Soul that she's in the wrong part of the jungle and that does not belong to her. This is my hobby. Oh, we see a 3v2 going down in the mid lane. Somebody gonna get plucked? Maybe.
And if they do get hit by that split pluck, especially a rat who doesn't have beats here.
Right, that would be a perfect segue into a Wheelix ult, but you see the Wheelix just backs off, goes to start farming. And there might be a 3v2 situation over this mid heartbeat. Sam stunned here.
Ooh,
Able to
nice.
dodge the crush?
We do see that the Willis.
If Sam hits a pluck here, go ahead, I'm sorry.
We do see the Willis actually
Which acorn did he pick up right there?
he's going Thistlebark or Thistlethorn. It's the 5 acorn.
Oh my god.
And then we do see Cucullin is actually in the enemy jungle.
And there's the combo.
A little bit off the mark there. I don't think Peaceful plays too much damage to gamers here, just based off the ults.
That is alright. That ult wouldn't have made or break that fight even if they hit it. I think Soul's gonna do some really good damage to the Artemis there, but we see a gank to the solo lane. Oh no, she... Wow, that is gonna spell a lot of disaster for them going forward.
It looks like your is in a spot of bother here on the Olympics, but it looks like he's almost out. But no, there's Rat leads down, and they're gonna invade the blue buff. Let's 3-way split some XP. It's delicious.
I mean, when it's the enemy's XP, all the better.
Yeah, I'm surprised that
I thought she was dead to rights as well. I was very surprised to see him pull that out.
though if he does not back, he is 1.
He must have got a Tusky up who ate just the appropriate amount of damage to let him win that.
Husky can soul too.
Yep. Yeah, now that there's no constant health regen on like a Cullen because you got his blue buff.
Yeah.
These two.
And which is very understandable into this team comp. You know, you have the Willix So you know this team has knockups. And the outcome, I don't know if that was worth the level 1 ult. You know, he could have probably saved for the level 2 there. Maybe he's just trying to show that, hey, I'm here and you're gonna respect me.
Maybe. We also see that the Cullen picks up the mystical mail, while Arthur decides he's gonna go into a Stone of Gaia. As far as I'm aware, this Cullen will now win all those trades going forward. If we see a good beads coming out, there we go. This should be a dead chaos, and he does fall. He ate a lot of that soul ultimate, knocking him up, and just those continuous procs, even with the lower damage. And disapparate.
Oh, but she is in a spot.
No, and dodge. If he hits a 2 here, that's a dead Giannis. Good jukes coming out. And he walks into it. Down goes Peaceful. Soul should be able to... Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that is a dead Bacon, and that is a dead Wolfman as the gigantic Scylla all coming in for the double header.
You gotta Scylla hitting those ults is big.
It is huge. And what would have been a great swing just turns into a zero-sum proposition as players fall on both teams.
Maybe the Knights were coming into this game a little, you know, like, but you gotta.
Right, after their very solid wins that they had last week, they were probably pretty confident going into this.
They really are, and you know, this is like the number 2 team here. So you can't go into the game all like, yeah, I can body this team. It's the number 2 and number 3 team going against each other right now, based upon everyone's tier lists. I'd say. And you did see King Arthur miss the ult, and Ram came to game, but no, you know, pressure there to.
Right, something I also want to notice, Soul is going full tilt into the lifesteal build, choosing not to pick up a ring as her second item. Bancroft's Talisman? Not Talisman, but Typhons? What are you saying she gets picked up right there?
That's probably and then probably next might be a Soul Gem.
Honestly, what I would like to see next, if that's a Typhons, is a Hecate. A Ring of Hecate is the best boxing item for any mage, and I personally recommend that you rush it, but even picking it up next would do wonders. It's a 30% power differential to whoever you're fighting, and seeing as how they're going blow for blow over there, that would give you every trade until she gets Silver Branch online.
Things are coming out from, I think, this Mulan trying to go maybe somewhere, but you know, you can't, it's very hard to catch a Giannis out and an Felix out.
Right.
Stop that.
Exactly. If this comes down to the late game, I feel like not having any true Guardian CC is definitely going to hurt the Ferrymen.
Yeah, all you really have is Mulan, Cole, and knock
Right. Oh, look how much damage just initially done with that. Oh, this might be a dead Cacolan as the Mulan pull might get that secured. And down he goes. The Wheelix sees all that happening. It's like, not going in there.
But we do see
The mass rotation is now coming in. Oh, the great knockup into the Wheelix cell. But once again, what I would like to point out, this is the second game I've seen this. These Wheelix aren't auto attack canceling to get the increased damage off their feather step.
they're picking up another kill onto Arctic. Chaos is comfortable.
Against the soul, and I mean with that build he's healing so much per auto and per ability that it's not an even boxing match, and it won't be until he gets Silver Branch online. And right, and you see he has no sustain because he didn't go Aussie, so like he is losing those trades hand over fist now.
I would have rather liked to see, you know, an Aussie instead of that.
Right, something to help him try and win that fight.
But with this, with this build, you go an Aussie later on, and then I think sometimes you finish this build with like a kin size, but instead of maybe
I-
a kin size, a toxic blade?
Maybe we shall see how that goes. The gladiator shield picked up after the Stone of Gaia on the King Arthur. Okay, and we see a talisman picked up on the Catcullen. That is just a huge item, especially to have that early on your guys' team.
I like the talisman on the colony.
So do I. So do I. And we see double transcendence picked up on both junglers now.
Yep. But the thing is Rat finishes Acorn, but a Willix built the trans later on. Because technically,
Correct. We see a Wheelix is now sitting pretty at 30% CDR, while Rat is only at 10, I believe.
yeah, and if she goes the Boomba's Hammer, she's gonna cap CDR.
Right, and that Boomba's Hammer just gives so much sustain. The Yana Assault coming in to just maybe snipe, maybe hit someone.
Yep. Taking the, Spanish Inquisition, trying to make sure you're not seen. And this boxing,
Right, but the Catcullen just has tick damage consistent, which is way better.
and we do see Chaos, getting hard.
Chaos, Aegis down. It's just not enough. With that Magus proc on that Soul ultimate, she's just gonna get rocked. As I think Giannis now becomes the new target. Slowed from the Soul, good shell coming out. Sam trying his best just to keep people slowed down. They want to kill that Soul. That Soul is a massive target. No. Okay, the Soul's still gonna go down, which works out perfectly. But here becomes the scary Mist and Aegis is procced out though. But the Canadian bacon, generic Grenadian bacon, go down.
Peaceful has to be careful here. Oh, the
Oh, but it is not enough.
And Scylla has going.
Okay. Everybody has come into this game swinging. They are not afraid to get down and dirty with the enemy team.
They really are.
Catcullen invading speed buff. Like to see that. That. Oh, pause coming out. Oh, just staring at it.
I think that actually does set that Rat behind a little.
That it will, and when he comes back to find his speed is not there, he's going to wonder why.
I think some pings are coming actually. The pings for the King Arthur came out there like, hey, why is my speed buff going?
Why are you invading their blue that's not even there? And my speed buff is gone.
It's a lot of questions to, Rat might have to, put some boards to
Right, and I mean he went left, so solo side definitely had the free rotation to invade said speed. And instead of protecting his jungle, King Arthur chose to go invade.
Yep, and it looks like they're grouping up for gold here.
We see the ring that Soul got, not the one I would have thought she was going there. Telkind's ring. Not what I would recommend, not what I expected, but
This Artemis has to be careful.
Artemis is dead here. Yep, dead for the tower.
Ooh, Tusky coming
It's not enough. Goodbye, good friend. It was nice knowing you.
It was nice knowing you. She did take the tower in exchange for her life.
Right, and Catcullen is going to try and get an offside tower as well.
Yeah.
Angrily staring at it with his full rage form.
And he's just gonna. They are gonna get blue team is giving up the towers. They have the advantage in this fight. They have the King Arthur here. They know
Right.
Cullen's so
And now Soul just taking the tower in return. Already doing over 100 damage per auto to that, just candidly. King Arthur, do not peek your head in there, good buddy. If you get knocked up, that isn't a Wheelix ult. Oh, and the King Arthur ult does miss. Do we see a good pluck coming out of Sam? There it is. A Wheelix ulting him even deeper. Beats on King Arthur? Yes, he does. Oh. Oh, Giannis? Oh, that's an unfortunate miss, and that's Scylla beads are thrown. Sam with a great pluck will be able to take him down.
But he's going to fall in return to Raptor. Kill for kill right now.
I
don't think it's worth in favor of blue side because
No.
they're ahead.
Right. Something I like to point out, though, I think there was a small gap in communication. We see 2 talismans of energy picked up by the Knights.
And Chaos is gonna pick up the kill on Raptor with a tusk.
This. That is a dead soul. As the man Cucullin coming in.
That is gonna pick up the kill.
But not for free. Just a continuous back and forth.
So it's not really worth for Order side here because their carry got shut down.
Right.
So Chaos now has big money to spend now, and we do see his Atlant's bow coming out, which is then gonna give him. He's now gonna finish.
He's got the pen he finally needed. Silver Branch will follow soon, and that's when we'll see his power swing start coming alive. We also see the Wheelix has picked up a Hydra's, so that first auto off the Feather Step or off the ultimate is going to hit even harder. This is a dead Cucullin.
You're tanky, but you're not tanky to fight.
Right. If I'm the Knights right now, I'm saying, hey, they're grouping. We got to group up too. Right.
Just don't pull King Arthur. King Arthur wants to be in your backline, so don't give him that chance to pull something into your backline. Yanis Portland to clear some wards, you know. He's got what?
30%. Giannis right now is at 30% CDR. Scylla is at max.
Yeah. Is he in trouble? No.
No, he's just gonna take some free poke though. It's not something you want to see as they're looking hovering around that fire giant.
Poke from Giannis as well, but he's built more to tank economics, as we do see a sledge, a witchblade, and a thieves.
Right. How you beat mages? More health. Some protections, but mages right now build full pen. You just stack that HP on deck and make them cut through it.
Yeah, which sucks being a mage right now because you have one item that
That he's gonna go down. Peaceful caught out. How many wards do we see on the map right now? Let's look. The Knights had the ward coverage. That's just unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. You can't really against 4 people coming.
No. Once they're there, that you were able to know you were about to die, but that's it.
That's what you can know.
Death is imminent.
Yeah.
We also see Rat picking up a Soul Eater here. That is gonna cap out his CDR.
So kinda in the water, you know, trying to force some stuff out.
King Arthur ults. I think the Rat's gonna smash right into that Kanakin though. Good feather step, good knockup. Has to beat the Wheelix ult. Frenzy now coming out. This Scylla ult does not connect. That would have been a humongous Scylla ult, potentially turning this fight. As the Giannis ult from the back.
They did just turn that fight in their favor. 2-for-1 trade there.
Honestly, if that Scylla ult had connected, that would have been a very different fight.
Soul has no saturate available. She's tied to the spawn bottle as the beads come out, but Raptor falls instead. Or the Aegis comes out, sorry. Raptor still falls, but beads also did come out, just at a different point. So.
Right. Can we see the graphs right now to see how that turned? The numbers? XP was a huge dip there now.
Soul is
Right, and Knights taking this opportunity to try and get some of that deficit back in their favor as they pick up that Gold Fury.
yeah. Giannis late game is like Scylla and Giannis late game.
She understood. There's a lot of health on that enemy team. This is how you combat health as a mage. Gotta pick up the Soul Reaver.
Honestly, I feel like such an underwhelming game. I feel like 2% or something.
2, I think up to 8?
It's not that like you have like a king size which is 5 HP, but then on the other end you have Soul Reaver which doesn't.
Right, like mages don't have anything in their innate built kits that let them do what physicals can do in regards to just taking out HP based targets. We see a mantle being picked up on the Sobek to try and help peel him out when he gets low. And that is going to be a pride win on the Arthur. Oh. Bacon just cannot get out once he's that deep. His Aegis is going to come out, but he's going to fall.
The rattle coming out this time to burn that hill there.
This is now a 4v5 situation.
Even at that 4v5, they really don't make out. I'm kind of curious as to why, you know? You have the tactical advantage here, but you're not pushing it.
Right, now's the time you gas pedal it. You pick the aggressive comp for a reason.
You gotta lay the foot on the gas and kind of force the fights you want.
Right. So they... This is a fire bait. This is a fire bait. They want him in. Now they've got the engagement they were looking for. Drop the fire and turn and fight. Look at Sam. Sam is deep but peaceful, doing an enormous amount of damage.
Bad News Bears diving onto Chaos.
And it is going to pick him up. The Soul ult will pick up Sam as it just does so much damage, and once again that Soul ult does not connect.
Yanis there, you know, kind of...
Oh no. That was a great King Arthur ult, as he will now fall down.
And they're like, well, maybe now we can...
They can't do it now. They're too low. They're way too low. Honestly, all things considered, they might have lost the numerical advantage, but this was a win for Red Team.
They did. They stopped the Fire Giant, you know.
Right, you lost somebody out the gate, which is unfortunate, and a 4v5 you were able to stop a Fire Giant.
Yep.
That's a win.
I'd just like to point something out here. We do see Peaceful is a level ahead of Scylla. Even though they are behind, they are still somehow pulling out...
Giannis farm is nothing to be taken lightly.
Yep. Player damage, it looks like it's a little bit behind the Soul, and they're gonna start Fire Giant.
He is there, he comes into ult, the Scylla comes out. Who got that? Okay. Nothing. Yeesh. The Giannis ult, oh, it does hit the King Arthur, but he just has that much tankiness on board that he's not super worried about that right now. The Fire Giant regen will bring him back to full here soon.
That Odibo though, procking on that Scylla,
right. Honestly, picking a hunter that has no mobility is really working against him in this game.
It really is. He's having to, you know, stay back with Bad News Bears.
A good ult, I mean, a good pluck, and he will go down there.
Still trying to save.
I think they might save this Phoenix. Oh no, the Soul is just chunking it down.
Soul may be zoning a little bit here, but it's still going to fall.
He was trying to really benefit, because I don't know if you saw, but they had the that new demon that buffs the towers, the Draugr. They definitely had Draugr buff going there, and he was just trying to stay to help it live as long as he could.
Yeah, and we do see Draugr coming back up, and you know, I think once, and we do see a kin size coming out, as Chaos understands, hey, they're beefcakes. I know what to solve a beefcake with.
Right, but I mean, something that's still not helping him is his lack of sustain. He has no lifesteal.
Well, leather cow gives, I think, what?
5%?
5%?
It's 5%?
No, it's 10%, and I think the upgraded one, Hunter's Cowl, is 15. So he needs to work for Hunter's Cowl here as
right
to finish his build, give him that light sustainability he needs.
Right, and a huge power spike with that increased attack speed that will benefit the Silver Branch bow. We see the Demonic comes out of the Soul, and then that's probably going to be a Rod to help finish out that build. She is swinging.
Still no Ring of Hakate. You know, to each their own. I do, like, Ring of Hakate would, you know, give you a little bit more power instead of that Telekine's ring.
Right, especially accompanied with your Typhon's build.
Yeah.
It fits the build better, but He obviously doesn't need it.
He does. He's already swinging, and they need anti-heal online yesterday.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Sobek has some innate built anti-heal with his 3, and so does Kukulin with his 1. That's a 50% on his 1. That is a massive gold difference. That is an item, almost 2 items per person.
I don't like my support building animosity.
That is disrespect.
That really is.
There is just no fear coming out of the Ferrymen right now.
Yeah, when you see a Vamp Shroud coming out from Scylla, and
Ooh. That is gonna hurt. Those crush are gonna hurt.
they are, but she does lose some health.
Right. So they have to connect. If she misses, it's not gonna put her in a good spot. We see that Sam has
It takes peace on that.
helps the whole team.
As he goes in on the team, as Grenade Bacon looks to pick up a kill there, in a spot of honor, Rat's up.
Rat's in the backline, but they've stayed together strong to help fend him off. Sam barely escaping. Oh, great Tusky. That is going to probably bring down... Oh, they trade out supports right there. As the Rat comes back in, pulling the Aegis, but it's not going to be enough. As he was just too low. All things considered, this is a ballsy move, but it was a great Phoenix defense by the Knights.
I think the Knights won out that trade.
Oh, for sure.
And it's slowly and focusing that Scylla down. Guys, we can now go in because we don't have to worry about the Scylla Sicko slowing us just
Blowing us apart, right?
Scylla's kid has
Correct. Like, all her abilities get something extra when she hits that level 20.
Yep.
One thing you gotta notice, this Mulan with that animosity has great kill potential on any of those squishies, though. She's autoing for a large amount with that build.
She does, but the problem with that Mulan build is, if Chaos gets on her, all her HP is disappearing.
Oh, yeah. He demolishes her instantly.
That's
You see, King Arthur has chosen to sold his starter item to pick up Mail Renewal?
Which gives more HP, that kin size to just work its damage.
Right, and I mean, it brings some sustain to the rest of your team and to yourself, but all things considered, he's not that tanky. He has low defense hybrid items. He's only health.
He's only health, but even then, King Arthur, not getting as much health pool as that animosity. I think he has like
At least.
And enraged Moose kind of just laughing off that damage.
Yeah, he has the protection items. He's not afraid of it.
He's kind of just, like, oh, you hit me, okay.
Once again, that did barely, not even 300 damage. And that's with the Magus proc on that proc back.
That's also with an extra 10% pen from that Rod of Tehuti.
Just... Nope.
Hyphen's Fang, I believe, also gives pen.
Yes, it does. 10%.
So he has 20%, and that Sobek laughed it off. Oh, 30% with Typex. So
right.
Sobek laughed off that amount.
I mean, and you can only build, what is it, 40% pen? So he's approaching the cap readily.
Yeah, the only person who can overcap on Pelin is Scylla. She can get 40% plus her standard, like 15% on Crush.
Right.
She's gonna hit hard, but the problem with that is you have to...
But just look at where everyone is right now. Half their team wasn't in position to do anything, and Peaceful's gonna fall to that Rat.
Rat kind of going, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take care of this Giannis real quick.
Right.
Giannis kind of having to,
That puts them in a very bad position because they don't have that Giannis ult to go in, or more importantly, to get out now.
Yep.
And yeah, right. Honestly, all he needs to do is 1 or 2 hits to Artemis and leave. The AoE will finish her off. Oh, fantastic crush coming out, doing immense of damage. That's game.
That is game.
Are they not ending?
I think not gonna end.
Oh yeah, here they go. They call the end. They're gonna go mid, Phoenix, and that should be the end of game 1, unless something miraculous happens when Peaceful spawns.
If Peaceful team wipes here, that's gonna be game 1. So really, Peaceful
I'm calling this as the end of game 1.
yeah, unless Peaceful hits the biggest answer tonight.
Nah, and with the field goal ultimate, that is gonna be the end of game 1, going to the Ferrymen.
I think they're a little bit off of, hey, we beat Booney Boys handily. We can go into this and beat this team handily. No.
No. This is a totally different squad.
Yep. Terminator dealing
Wait,
good damage.
I'll take this over what I guess.
I feel like Terminator was that team's win condition there.
Oh, he was just doing so much damage. And I've seen a lot of Awilix in these past few games, and I just haven't been impressed by it so far.
I wish, I wish he would have punished that Scylla. Because you can pull Scylla out of her dash with a Willix ult.
Right.
I really wish that was punished more. We do see Peaceful 22 wards, 17, 9, 13, 11. But on the other end, we have 12, 15, 14, 19, 9. Where's the AUC wards?
It's a lot of wards coming out.
I think Peaceful is like, no. Leave my side of the map alone. I know you're coming. I'll be under my tower before you get here.
And you still saw him get tossed a few times, just not able to escape those mass rotations coming out.
I think he needs to, go back to what he's good at. I don't think his Yanis is as good as some of his other gods inside of his pool.
I don't think so, and I don't think the Awilix was a very comfortable pickup for their jungler either.
Yeah. I think he excels on, a little bit more engage heavy junglers. A Willix can't really engage late game.
No, she's really banking on being able to just grab somebody that's knocked up, we kill that person, and now we take the 4v5 fight. Because you gotta remember, Awilix is all but useless when she's on Suku.
We can't get this thing. The damn thing's here.
I also think that they have scared Chaos off this Artemis. I don't think we'll see that picked up again.
I know Chaos has a bit deeper of a god pool.
Alright, I see it.
Honestly, if I'm Ferryman coming into this game, I bet they expected the Artemis pick, and they're like, you know what we could do to that? Just jump on it. Punish it for what it is, an immobile god.
Maybe some vibes here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Better or worse?
It's about the same.
Gonna do the launch pad?
You can still hear all the background, can't you? I gotta fix this one.
I am sorry, Neptune. I'm getting a call. I'm actually gonna have to dip out here. Very interesting to see how game 2 goes. Honestly, if I'm calling it, I think the Knights will pull game 2. It'll go to a game 3, and I don't know. That's gonna be a toss-up. But it was fun. Thanks for having me, and I will be back casting at some point.
Hello. Can you hear me? Nope. Hello. Can you hear me, sir? Yay. Am I clearer now? Is this better? Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
I'm here to assist.
Thank you.
Who's playing?
It would be the Ferrymen versus the Obsidian Knights.
All right. Has this set already started?
Yes, it's on to game 2.
All right. Who won game 1?
Game 1 was the Ferrymen.
Wait, am I supposed to hear Sir Neptune? Wait, is Neptune talking right now?
No, I'm not.
Oh, wait. Now I hear you. Actually, I might turn you up a little bit.
That seems to be the just standard thing to do at this point.
All right. If you need me to, I can definitely fill space if something goes wrong with your mic.
Can
But,
we shoot for assistance?
I'm down to
if
do
need be?
whatever.
I'm also here as well. Hey.
So,
10 minutes, it'll break. It's fake fast at this point.
You want to chair one, Spooky?
sure, I can share one. Give me the team names one more time.
It is the Ferrymen versus the Obsidian Knights. Obsidian Knights is blue, Ferrymen is red.
Obsidian Knights and Ferrymen. Okay. Wait, are we live right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we.
Wait, can they hear me right now?
They can. And you sound fantastic.
Well, alrighty then. Hello. I'm live on stream. And what a great night to be playing some Smite game, if I do say so myself. Spooky Mars, and joined by the King Cooter, none other than. Is that correct?
You got it. I'm here with you, buddy.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to be on cast with you, King. Should we call you King? Should we call you Cooter? You know what? I would let chat decide, but chat always makes the wrong decision anyway.
Either way is perfectly fine. Cooter is generally what people call me though.
All right, that makes me uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie. No,
You know, it's all right. I've gotten that my whole life. It's fine.
Well, it seems we are already heading into game 2 here. Cooter, who do you think is gonna prevail in this one? Who has the upper hand? Just off the fly, no drafts going yet. Who do you think has an edge just at the start?
Well, I mean, based on game 1, the Ferrymen, I believe, in my opinion, had a worse draft overall. But they still pulled out the victory. Raptor did a great job in mid on Scylla, staying very safe. And even though they had a direct counter with the Awilix pick, they weren't able to actually take advantage of that counter matchup. So for this game, I think I would have to go with the Ferryman again. But I think the Obsidian Knights definitely have the talent to be able to give the Ferryman a run for their money.
All right, I'm gonna make a different choice, and it's not
Oh.
based off of facts, it's not based off of science, it's based off the fact that I'm gonna stand for this man, all right? I saw Peaceful Mind on the Knights, and that means I have to cheer for him, all right? I gotta rep my boy. Known him for a while, great player, and I've seen him really put in some good work in these matches. He's the kind of player who, if you let him get a lead, he can really carry a match and just shove that momentum forward. Really interested to see how he tries to bring this back and how he works with the rest of this team, see if they can pull this game back, this set back into their favor. As we now start heading into these picks and bans, King, I'm excited to see Morgan being banned away, finally available for competitive play. What do you think about Morgan so far?
Oh, Morgan Le Fay is absolutely stifling. An absolute first round ban if you're a team that either can't player, your mid laner doesn't really have the kit down yet, or if you're the second team, you don't want to give that to the team that's picking first. So definitely a first round ban for me.
Most definitely. And followed by the Set band, who I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Set recently, much less than I had previously been seeing him. Do you think his latest rounds of nerfs or maybe the meta shifts have hurt him in some way at all?
Yeah, I think the ADCs having the ability to literally two, maybe even three shot him really took him out of the meta. Before you had to hit him a few more times and he could just trade punches with you. But now ADCs in general just blow him up. So he can't really get on people as well as he used to.
So what I'm hearing is just nerf the Hunter class, right? Just
the
take him
hun-
out of the game.
the hunter class always ruins every item. So yeah, just nerf that entire class into the ground. I'm down.
And speaking of hunters, maybe not a traditional one, but Soul definitely been rising up in favor these past few weeks
Wisdom
here.
shall be
Has
my
that kind of
shield.
hunter playstyle, lots of damage with his basics. I like seeing this here. Do you think it's worth like banning away the Scylla to pick up the Soul? Do you think one is better than the other? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so based on last game, I think I think the Scylla was actually a ban against Raptor because that is the god that kind of carried the game uh for the for the
Let the
Ferrymen.
hunt begin.
And the Soul was the other piece that was really doing a great job for that Ferryman team. So banning the Scylla, taking away the Soul, I think is the Knight's way of getting back at the Ferryman.
Looks like it will indeed be that Soul carry. Knight's kind of showing their hand a little bit early. One of the benefits of that Soul pick is she can go mid very well, she can go carry very well.
Mhm.
Do you think it's worth it to pick up both your Hunter and your mid laner and kind of show which is going where already in this draft?
Yeah, if this draft is if I'm controlling this draft, I'm not taking the opposite, whether that Soul's going mid or ADC. If you can kind of flex it, I would not take the other one, just to make them think about what's going to happen next. Raijin's a very good pick, but I don't think you needed to tip that this early. To make them think about
Well, I do like the Odin in conjunction with these two picks. That's a lot of damage, it's a lot of lockdown. But you take a look at the other side there, which we haven't talked a whole lot about. That Artemis being picked up for, the Ferrymen's carry. Artemis, very potent recently. Combine that with the Athena and the Kukulin. That's a lot of space and a lot of lethality that's going to be over on the Ferrymen here.
Yeah, yeah, and the Ferrymen also they have that global pressure from the Athena as well. So they're doing a very good job of picking into the meta. The Artemis definitely um uses the bow build very, very well, arguably the best in the game. And then you also have you boy greatness on likely boy greatness on the Athena, able to rotate around the map very quickly and get that number advantage wherever he would like to.
Cooter, I gotta say, Season 8 has been a weird time so far. I mean, Artemis in the meta, at the top of the meta. Like, what is this world that we're living in where Artemis is at the top of the meta? We're banning Loki away because he's finally good. I mean, what is going on here?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Even though, as I said, the hunters are kind of ruining items, and it should probably probably the whole class should be nerfed. It is exciting. You're seeing different things that are viable. You see Loki coming back into the fold. It's amazing. Speaking of which, we did get the Loki ban coming out from the Ferryman there.
Yeah, Loki been drawing a lot of bans lately. It took him a little while after his rework to finally be competitive legal, but now that we're here, he's been making quite a showing. Same with this Fenrir that's been locked in, another rising popularity pick. I say rising, but he's really kind of been around for a little while now. Do you think it's the damage, the displacement he brings, or just kind of both?
Yeah, all of the above. Fenrir really has the tools to, in his tool belt to do anything you ask him to. I think that Fenrir is very, very strong right now. Great pick from the Ferryman, and a great comp so far for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. However, one thing that is interesting to me is that they are going to have a little bit of trouble getting out of this Odin cage so far. Athena would have to burn ult to get out of it. Fender, he's got his 2 jumps, but Cullen, he's able to get out. But Artemis is the big thing. Artemis can't leave that without a phantom being picked up,
hmm
and Athena having to burn her ult doesn't really feel good. Do you think we might see some trouble with that, as now we're seeing the Hoon bots being hovered here on
Oh.
top of the Odin cage?
Oh, I think you hit all the points there. Odin is very good right now because a lot of the gods that are meta don't have leaps and don't have ways to get out of the Odin cage. And you combine that with the Hunbat's ult inside of the Odin cage, and you got a whole world of problems. So I think I would expect that somebody on the Ferryman is going to have to pick up an early Phantom Spell in this match.
All right. Now, they've got the Baba Yaga. Sure, she has that kind of delayed leap from her third ability.
Mhm.
But that thing is also really easy to cancel out, Cooter. They got the Odin stun. You've got the Hoonbot's ultimate that can cancel it pretty easily. Do you think that's kind of the way to go? She has been seeing a lot of success in like the SPL, but do you think the easily cancelable nature of that ability is going to cause problems?
Yeah, I think that could be a problem for Raptor for sure. I think that he is just trying to take a pick that could potentially do a ton of damage. Baba Yaga is very, very good at getting out a lot of damage, but I think a lot of what the reason why he picked that is because of that dash and maybe trying to jump out of the Odin cage. Um, but in my opinion, I don't think it's a super good reason. But that's what he's decided to go. Maybe he's just flexing his god pull a little bit, trying to show that hey, I'm not just a Scylla one trick. I have the Baba in the bag as well.
Yeah, it always is nice to be able to show that off a little bit. It looks like the Ferrymen have really kind of worked on this dive comp they've got. Athena, Kekol, and Fenrir, all really good at diving the enemy. Odin, on the other hand, he's really good at shutting those dives down. They try to engage, you just drop the ring. Whose draft do you kind of favor here?
Oh, I think both teams have a very, very good draft. But I think overall, I think I'm gonna have to lean toward the Obsidian Knights team. The Odin is very stifling into most of the Ferryman's team, like we were just talking about. The Soul, as we saw last game, and as we've seen over and over again this season, just puts out a ton of damage. The Hunbats and the synergy that the Hunbats brings with the Odin ult as well. I think the whole roster there is very cohesive. Versus the Ferryman's, which kind of seems like maybe they're looking for a pick here, a pick there to try to get an advantage early, versus the Knights where team fight's going to be king for them.
Yeah, I think team fights are a great place to look for both these teams so far as we do get things rolling back around here. But we didn't really pay too much attention to the solo lane matchup here. You've got Enraged Moose on the Achilles here. He's going to be facing that Kakolin. Do you think we should expect to see either one get a lead? Do you expect one of these players to just have an advantage over the other based on playstyle? Or are we looking mostly at the traditional slap fight?
I think you're going to see a lot of slap fight. I think Omega does a good job of poking very well early, and Kokolin kind of leans into that. So I think you're going to see a lot of slapping with Omega kind of getting the advantage in the early game.
I said Achilles solo, but I can't guarantee that it is actually the Achilles solo. They've got
You're right.
flex potential there. It could be Odin solo or jungle. Achilles could go jungle or solo. I like the kind of mix up they've got going for them here. Would you prefer seeing either one in that solo lane?
I would personally prefer the Achilles in the solo lane. I think Odin can bring more to the table in being able to rotate as supports do earlier. I think Achilles does fine in the support role, but I think Odin does much, much better.
For sure. And, he's also going to be very useful against that Artemis. So I kind of agree with you there. Being able to just lock her down from level 5. At the same time, though, they got to watch out for that level 5 Artemis ult. Tusky is a terror, as I've recently discovered in many of my casual games. Bore me no likey. So hopefully the Mountain Man can find a way to deal with that.
Now the good news is that they do have the early Soul, so maybe Soul can deal with Artemis before she gets that Tusky, maybe get a kill early. But it is that Tusky is it's a pesky Tusky,
Sure, the bad news, Bears, is that Soul's gonna have to deal with this Athena here, and not having that CC immunity until level 5. Sure, she's got the disapparate, but the sheer power of the taunt. I would say that Athena's Confound is one of the best abilities in the game. Before it did damage, now that it deals damage, it's just an insane ability. Being able to lock you down, pull you out of position. They could have a bit of problems with that in this early game.
Yeah, no doubt. And it looks like the Athena may actually be going into the jungle, so that'll be a ton of fun to watch as well.
Oh yes, it looks like the Fenrir will be the support here, and that's something I really like. They see the early game Soul, they match it with the early game Fenrir. There's a lot of aggression there. There's a lot of damage. Both teams are going to have to play this early game very carefully, but they both have explosive potential here, I feel.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the Athena pulling into the Artemis trap would have been a very interesting dynamic over there, but like you said, I think the Fenrir bringing that aggression with the Artemis kind of evens out the lane a little bit for the Ferrymen.
Yeah, and I do like the potential that the Athenian jungle brings, right? She's got the global presence, right? Now she's got the global pressure from the jungle. She could be ganking the duo lane, but what's happening over in the solo lane? They're trying to make a counter rotation? Let me just bolt on over there and ruin everything. I really like this.
Yeah, she can be everywhere at once. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
Already we see a little bit of a skirmish over in this duo lane. Wolfman Sam taking the worst end of it. That steroid is popped. Thunder comes through, but no first blood just yet. Thanks to a Chaos going ahead and stepping up there, taking a few hits for Wolfman Sam. However, he is looking a little low. He's going to have to be careful as your boy has just hit level 2. Up and down. He goes down. Wolfman Sam taken down by the Wolfman himself. Good start for the Ferryman.
Yeah, I think Boy Greatness did a great job of getting his runes online there and being able to get that CC off to get the kill on Wolfman Sam.
Yeah, and the way they engage is right in the middle of that minion wave, so maybe you can't hit all your damage. Maybe you don't have enough damage to kill him, unlikely with Fenrir and Artemis. But just in case you don't, have some extra archer minion damage. Those things burn in the early game. I hate them personally. But now, they've got themselves a lead, and the Fenrir with the head is very dangerous. You see him just go right on in again. Wolfman Sam takes a lot of damage, but it's enraged Moose who has found the kill over in the solo lane. Solo kill for the solo laner.
Yeah, and Omega making a liar out of me, making sure that Enraged Moose gets that first kill over in the solo lane. So good for him. Good for him. Nice job, Enraged Moose there.
action just keeps on continuing across the map. We see a skirmish in mid, but over in the dual lane, these guys are just not ready to give up, though your boy Greatness has taken some heavy damage here. They're going to go ahead and steal away this Scorpion. That extra healing going for them. But it does come at the cost of some poke. Now the Ferrymen are kind of on the worst end of this trade. We could see the Knights taking advantage here.
Yeah, fantastic, counterpunch from the Obsidian Knights duo lane.
Sure, we do see the totem coup is going the way of the Ferrymen as Sam does find a good stun onto Terminator. Takes a good chunk of damage, but up down is boy Greatness, and already the damage comes through. Shell has to be popped. Chaos, no mana, but Wolfman Sam is able to run his way back to the safety of his carry behind that minion wave. But boy Greatness, he's lurking around. He can do more here, and he's looking for more. You see Bulldog about to go bananas, but oh my goodness! Chaos finds the kill on boy Greatness. Little too low, little too long. Good return from the Knights here.
Yeah, and you see the kind of what do you want to call it? The give and take over in the duo lane when you have the assassin playing support. He does deal a lot of damage early, but it is very easy to return the damage to him as well.
Yeah, I think that's another good thing to note in the jungle as well. That Guardian Athena, she has higher base stats. She's going to be a little tankier in the early. And those abilities do have high base damage. And we see the effects of that there as, Hunbots and Athena meet at those mid-harpies. But Grenadian Bacon, he's the one that has to step away because he knows he doesn't have the damage to out-secure Bad News Bears on this Athena. And he doesn't really have the damage to contest with her tank stats. And that lets her get those free mid-harpies.
Yeah, and Bad News Bears is actually up in farm by probably a quarter level to a half level. So really, really great job by Bad News Bears, still having some effect in the game with ganks and relieving of pressure and things, and also keeping the farm online.
Good on them for that farm. You can see the effects of it on those graphs right now. Sure, the Knights took a little bit of a lead, but slowing back down. But now there's a gank coming through onto Bulldog. Ult is already forced out, but the Fear No Evil comes through. Athena comes down. Bad News Bears actually gets the kill. It's a double kill now for Bad News Bears. Bulldog still alive. Great Athena ult coming through there to help out the solo laner.
My goodness, what an ult. What an ult. And that's the effects that you see when Athena's in a game. Great job staying alive by Omega Bulldog.
Yeah, I'll be honest. If I'm the Knights, that's tilted me a little bit right there. You got him so very low. He burns his CC immunity at the wrong time, gets feared. But Athena with those mitigations just keeps him alive. He's got nothing to fear. Well, yeah, nothing to fear. Fear no evil. There you go.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, now we do see that Athena has opted for that Chronos Pendant as her first item there. That's going to keep that ultimate online a little bit faster, a little bit more often. I like that, the potential it brings. But do you think that's maybe the best item to go at the start for Athena in the jungle?
Yeah, I think I don't know that it's necessarily the best, but I think that it's going to work out just fine for him. Getting the ultimate online, like you said, more quickly, having more taunts to be able to control a member of the other team or multiple members of the other team is huge.
See another little skirmish there where Enraged moves now. He kind of has to back off. Bulldog got quite a bit from that failed gank. No kills, but 2 assists. That keeps him pretty happy in this lane. We see he's going into that more defensive build. He's already got this little breastplate online. Moose, on the other hand, he's only got, I believe, the axe right now and the shillelagh. So not quite as much going for him. Bulldog does use the ultimate. There's a little bit more. Might see another trade happening here. But unfortunately, Moose does not quite have the damage he's looking for. Can't get him into that execute threshold just yet. And so it just ends up being a slap fight.
Yeah, Massage the solo lane most of the time. A lot of damage coming out, but not a lot of kills, generally speaking.
Oh, Bad News Bears has found some invades. Bacon looking for something, but that monkey is not going to hop over. However, Bad News Bears goes right back in, finds quite a bit of damage. Half the health bar of Bacon gone. Now the Knights are rotating over. Good dunk onto Bad News Bears. Cages him in. The Peaceful has to deal with Boy Greatness. Now the Tycho drums come through looking for Bad News Bears, but he finds the dash away. Execute doesn't quite connect. Not enough damage to take him out, and Moose might be in some trouble as the shell comes through, but now the Baba Fire comes down, and Boy Greatness found the kill. Wolfman Sam returns the favor. Now the health bars are low. Bulldog's still here. Raptor also around, but that's going to be the end of that trade. They now look for the Totem of Coup to try to mitigate a little bit of this.
Fantastic work from Bad News Bears getting out of that situation. Very, very bad situation that ended up just being perfectly fine for him. Great dash. Everything from the Obsidian Knights there was just a little off, a little late. So if they can clean that up, that's a pretty big win for them.
Yeah, really good job to kind of recover from that. They had a little bit of a stumble, but they were able to pull it back. Now Ultimate comes out, Tusky looking for Chaos. Has to burn the Disapparate, trying to get away, but you'll notice there's no safety on that tier 1 tower there. It is gone from the map already, less than 8.5 minutes into the game. That's quite a bit of pressure for the Ferrymen on that left side of the map.
Without a doubt, the counter to that is that Artemis now should have to, that is, if Chaos plays it well, Artemis will have to come up further for the wave to farm effectively, which will make ganks much easier.
And hopefully Chaos is able to capitalize off that, but he is getting the worst end of a trade right now. Has to walk away as the Defender of Olympus does come through. They're looking for Chaos. Ultimate comes through, but the taunt is good. Chaos erased from the health bar. Terminator secures that kill, but over the wall is Grenadian Bacon, but the Tycho drums also come through. Cage is dropped up and over. Fenrir under the tower finds Peaceful. That's a good pick now for the Ferrymen. Grenadian Bacon trying to punch it a little bit, but he's not able to find enough. 2 for 1 goes the way of the Ferrymen.
Exciting action here coming in the duel.
Fortunately, that execute has missed. Bulldog will not be falling in this one. Might not be winning it, but you know, any trade where you take their ulti, but don't die. Hang on, Terminator, what are you doing, buddy? Terminated, more like it. Grenadian Bacon gets that one.
Great fear no equal. Great job.
Oh my goodness, Grenadian Bacon, that's a tower there, buddy! Enraged Moose, Enraged Tower, more like. Goodness me.
Great job dashing into the tower there and forcing Boy Greatness to take a tower shot, which ends up taking his life.
Yeah, maybe a little overzealous there from the Greatness himself. You know, it's not the worst thing in the world. It is the support. He's still got 3 kills. He's still on level. Yeah, it's still kind of a silly mistake, though, you don't want to make.
yeah, no doubt. Especially, I mean, Boy Greatness has 3 kills for his team. That's significant.
Actually, half the kills of his team, all on that support there, baby. He's putting that one in quotation marks. I'm playing support, guys. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
The old, you take the last hit and you say get supported. You know?
But no, he has been doing a lot of good work. He's been initiating on that duo lane. He's been diving. He went under that tower, found the Ragnarok onto Peaceful. And that's a big pick, like we touched on a little bit. Taking Raijin out of these fights, especially when it's piloted by Peaceful, to just Thunder Crash straight into Boy Greatness. Tycho drums have to come through. Goodness, I don't think that's what he thought he was going to be finding there. Now, Athena coming down with the Defender of Olympus. The Peaceful does manage to get out of that one just barely. He's still very low, though. He's going to die in the fire. This Raptor picks up the kill. They're trying to collapse onto him, but here comes Tusky. Beads are popped. This Zapparate is good. But Greatness has got out. Terminator finds Grenadian Bacon. Now Chaos is the one getting things turned around on. And there's still one lurking here. Wolfman Sam, this might not be where you want to be. Boy, Greatness finds a 4th one. That has got to feel bad. 1 for 4. The Knights not feeling great after that trade.
No, that's definitely a great team fight from the Ferrymen there. They end up losing Athena in the process, but I would take that trade.
Yeah, the way they spread out and collapsed around the fighting area was so well done. Blink comes out, Bulldog, nicely done. You know, they're just lurking over these walls, waiting for someone to come around. Boy Greatness looks like he's out of the fight, no health bar. But when it's just Wolfman Sam on this Odin, there's no reason to play it scared. Your team just wiped out their 2 backliners. Go ahead and stick around, just secure that kill. Great awareness, nice execution from the Ferrymen.
Yeah, great job. You hit it right on it. Boy Greatness staying local there was huge in that fight.
Now Bad News Bears also local to this fight. However, Green and Bacon also here. Takes a chunk of damage though. Goodness me. Athena, please calm down. Polynomicon online, and that is what did a big chunk of that damage. Those reach basics being enhanced is huge. Boy Greatness burns Ragnarok looking for Canadian Bacon, but is there any real backup here? Defender Olympus does come through, but Canadian Bacon drops the Fear No Evil defensively, pushing them right back into Enraged Moose. He has to use his ultimate, and the Taiko Drums are now looking for Bulldog. Only 1 on the mark, 2 on the mark, 2 miss. Thunder Crash over. Peaceful is looking for Bulldog. He's looking for war, but he has to back off now as the tides have turned. Odin drops the cage, trying to play it defensively. Baba's ultimate not connecting onto any but Wolfman Sam here. A great ultimate from Odin has helped a lot, but here's Grenade and Bacon once again looking for more. He's found Bad News Bears. Bulldog very low, might sneak out, but Greatness jumps right into Grenade and Bacon. Supernova not on the mark. Wolfman Sam now hunting him down, but Grenade and Bacon over the wall, overhand smash. He's gonna be the one to clean that one up. Double kill now for the monkey with the speed buff.
Great extended fight there from the Obsidian Knights. I was about to say that the Ferrymen did a great job getting out of that situation without any deaths, but the elongated fight really in favor of the Obsidian Knights.
Yeah, that one all goes to Grenadian Bacon and Wolfman Sam. The Odin cage was huge. It blocked them away, made sure the Ferrymen could not reach his backline and finish them off. They were very vulnerable at that point. Baba's ult did not connect with any but the Odin. That was only the last shot. But Grenadian Bacon's decision to loop back around into that fight, even though he had burned his ultimate, was so good, so smart. That's what really won them the fight. Now we see another one happening. Poor Moose is just being engaged on again and again. He's gonna fall here for sure. Bulldog picks that one up. I gotta tell you, Bad News Bears, he's been all over the map.
He has, and as he should, as Athena. Very, very good rotations coming from Bad News Bears. They kind of have 2 jungles as well. Boy Greatness is really playing a second jungle role too.
Rock here, the Taiko Drums coming through onto Terminator. That's a lot of damage. Peaceful finds that when he says, rest in peace, my friend. Thunder Crash does come through, but it's a little bit early, not able to chase Boy Greatness down anymore. That's okay, because the Fury is up. They should be looking for Bad News Bears lurking around the corner, though. He's going to go ahead and try to put up some kind of interruption here. Not gonna let the Knights take anything for free. I like the dedication. Now the Fury actually being started up as Boy Greatness comes around. Bulldog looping through the back here, maybe looking to get a good flank onto Peaceful. He's gonna go ahead and dip out. Fury remains safe on the map for now. But you know, I gotta say, we see 2 lifesteal builds coming through here. Wolfman Sam, why are you still up here? That's way too far, my friend. Should still be able to work his way on out of this one. Drops down onto Boy Greatness. That's a lot of damage. Supernova far off the mark, though. That's not going to do any good for them. Grenadian Bacon comes through, finds Boy Greatness finally. Managed to snip that one in the bud. Bulldog trying to put some pressure on, but now it should just fall back, maybe result in a Knight's Fury here. But no anti-heal online so far is what I was going to be mentioning, Twitter. These 2 lifesteal builds, I say 2, but it's really Soul has the lifesteal build and Raijin has the Vampiric Shroud. Are you concerned at all with the decision to not pick up like a Divine Ruin, a Beach Stick, anything like that?
I would hope that Raptor's going into a Divine Ruin, or even Bad News Bears going into a Divine Ruin right now. I think they're starting to feel the effects of the lifesteal coming from both of those characters, and I think that should be the direction that they're going. Another thing that I've noticed in this game is, just as we mentioned to start the game, the Odin Cage along with Fear No Evil being dropped together seems to be the winning ticket for this Obsidian Knights team.
Sure. And if they're able to catch that Terminator in that Odin cage, it kind of just becomes like a shooting gallery for Peaceful on this Ryzen. He goes up into the taiko drum, he's just banging on those drums, playing a little bit of music, vibing out. And oh, what happened? Artemis is dead? Oh wow, that's nice.
Exactly. It makes it very, very easy for the two carries on Obsidian Knights to be able to get all of their damage off.
One thing we didn't really mention, but I feel like it is worth mentioning here. 3 blinks coming out from the Ferrymen, and the third one just picked up by Baba Yaga. Of all people, Raptor has picked up the blink on his mage. Wolfman Sam, though, in some danger, but onto the back. His boy Greatness looking for people. Yes, Thundercrack on out. Lena has shown up, and Baba ult is expended, but this is a good disengage from the Knights. Burn those 3 ultimates, 3 used from the Ferrymen, none used by the Knights. This Fury could be very risky if the Ferrymen decide to go for it here.
Yeah, they might just be pulling into
Oh,
trying to
boy,
start a
Greatness.
fight.
He finds Peaceful up into the Ragnarok. Now the Taiko drums have come through, looking for the steal. Fear No Evil comes through, and they do steal the Fury away. You gotta be careful about who you're bringing to that one. Boy, Greatness does go up, down. Terminator with the double kill so far. Omega on the backline, trying to drive Chaos away, and he's done a good job of it. Green Bacon has not been able to punish this completely. This might be the next to fall here, and it's a triple kill for the Terminator himself. Boy, Greatness does go down, but now Terminator's looking for the quadra kill. No jump available for the Bacon Man. Now he does find a good jump in, shut down, double kill, but Raptor's able to wrap that one up. Finds the kill, however, Chaos right here. Bulldog shopping, my friend. You're not out of the woods yet. However, you are going to be able to shop for a little while longer now on that gray screen.
Oh, those ADCs absolutely ate in that fight, and what a great job by Peaceful stealing that Gold Fury. Like you casted it, you got to be careful about who you're bringing closer to that Gold Fury.
Yeah, Peaceful, really great patience, doesn't panic, just keeps it calm, lets himself be pulled in, and oh, hey, what's that, a low health objective? Well, let me vibe on my drums a little bit longer here. And the great ultimate coming out from Grenadian Bacon, that Fear No Evil, zones the rest of the Ferrymen off. They're not able to put any secure towards it because, 1, Baba Yaga's ultimate is already down. 2, they're all feared. What are they gonna do?
Exactly. Another thing of note here, there was no Phantom picked up on the Ferryman side until Boy Greatness got it as his second relic.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to me that Bulldog has opted for the Aegis relic into this comp. You're looking at a Raijin who can fear, taunt, chain you. You're looking at the Hunbat, big AoE fear. Supernova's got a big knockup. And Rage Moose has a stun on Achilles. Do you think Aegis is a call instead of these? However, Bad News Bears, hello? That's some bad news.
Very bad news. I think Beads was definitely the way to go, but maybe he'll make use of the Sages.
Sam losing about half his life, but Peaceful in the back just free casting. Fear No Evil is massive here. Bulldog's in danger. He goes down to the Wolfman. The other Wolfman, boy, Greatness, also very low. He's going to have to back up Baba in the house. Raptor is just on the retreat right now as the fork does go down to the Obsidian Knights. And they were looking like they were struggling a little bit in the early game. They had a couple stumbles, but the Knights have really been coming back strong into this mid game, into this late game. And I'm a little concerned for the Ferrymen here if they're not able to figure out what's working for the Knights that they need to shut down.
Yeah. I think the Knights are doing a great job of playing very well into their team comp. We're getting into that team fight phase, and this is where they're really going to start to hit the gas pedal and maybe even run away with this game.
Yeah, I feel like Ferrymen had a very clear path to victory through this game, and it is Terminator on this Artemis. Doing very well in lane, still doing very well in this late game stage now, 6, 3, and 4. About maybe half a level up on Chaos tonight. I really feel like they should have played through her a little bit more here, but it's not too late for that to happen. If they really work on facilitating Terminator on this Artemis, I think that's their ticket to win it.
100%. 100%. They have to play with one of the best late game hunters in the game with the bow build and just in general. She's a very good late game hunter. They have to feed her. They have to play around her.
On the other hand, though, Knights have been just kind of executing these team fights well in general. What do you think they need to do to stop the Knights? What is winning them these fights?
Hey, honestly, I think the engage is winning for the Obsidian Knights. They're engaging on the correct targets. It seems as if everybody on the team is on the same page, hitting the same person. Anybody who's out of position for the Ferryman is getting absolutely destroyed. So, for the Ferryman, you have to do a better job of getting together and making sure that you're not out of position, so that you can play around, as we just talked about, the Artemis to carry you to a victory.
For sure. Now these teams are starting to position around this fire giant. Pyromancer being pulled here. That's just the minor objective. That's the little reward that they're trying to maybe see if the Knights will step up and take a fight over this objective. But nothing has been committed just yet here, Cooter. Until now, when they do decide to go onto this Pyromancer, because the rest of the Knights have backed off, now about half health. The Knights are still around, maybe looking to make a steal here. Indeed, they do not make it, but the cage has been dropped. Phantom views. Chaos has already found Bad News Bears. Baba Ult does come through. Boy, Greatness already out of this fight. A massive Fear No Evil comes through. Terminator out of this one as well as Chaos picks up the double kill. Now it's the Fire Giant for the Knights here. That could be very bad for the Ferrymen here. This one's going to go down without much contest.
The Knights say, you know what, you can have that Pyromancer, but we're going to take the fight on the back of it and just take the fire right from you.
And well done by the Knights here. Bulldog, you're a little bit out of position here, buddy. You cannot be here any longer. Moose, gonna go ahead and make sure he gets that message. Now the Knights are poised to push down and maybe do a sweep of these tier 2s here. 24 minutes in, might be a little too early. Take a 5v2 fight into the Phoenixes. However, the Knights are stepping forward here, looking for a little bit more. Bad News Bears has been spawned. Defender of Olympus comes through, up into the middle, and down comes Bad News Bears, looking for more, but a great lockdown comes down. Green Bacon takes Bad News Bears out immediately. Now the boy Greatness himself is gone. This Phoenix should be falling shortly here, but there are no minions just yet. It's going to take a little bit more time, but not enough time for Terminator to put up the defense. Now it's going to go ahead and sweep over to this mid lane and maybe take a couple more towers before they fully retreat here.
Yeah, they're going to have a ton of gold in hand here, so if they're going to go any further here, they have to kind of retreat, go spend their gold, use their lead, and then re-engage still with fire.
Now, 15 seconds before Bad News Bears comes back up, about 8 seconds on Boy Greatness. Do you think they go for this last tier 2? Do you think they just go for this primal and reset?
No, I think they're going for the primal and they're resetting. Really, the goal is to back anyway and go to that side to try to achieve the left Phoenix for them. So that it's not worth it to get the last T2 in this situation.
It does seem they're going to go and do just that. They secure that primal, they secure those oracles, give themselves just that little bit of extra gold. They're going to head back to Fountain, I'm sorry, feeling pretty good about themselves. You see that Pridwin being picked up. You see that Deathbringer coming out from the Hoon bots. That's not a typical build I typically see here. Jotuns, Trans, Beatstick, and then Crit. Cooter, talk me through this one a little bit.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe he feels as if, you know, his lead's big enough that he can kind of do whatever he wants. Those trans crits are gonna hurt. So maybe he feels like he's able to get easily onto the Artemis, onto the Baba Yaga, and he's able to hit, you know, one ability and then 2 autos, and they're dead at that point. Maybe that's his goal. Maybe that's his goal. Another thing of note too, is when you're looking at the Ferryman, no anti-heal to be found.
Yeah, both Raptor and Bad News did decide to go for that Spear of the Magus. I'm not typically the biggest fan of stacking Spear of the Magus on your team. You can only really put one of those debuffs on a single person. But you know, me, I'm not a very big brain person either, Cooter. I'll admit it. My brain's the size of a pea, so maybe I'm wrong here.
No, I think you hit it on the nose. I think that the Ferrymen are struggling a little bit in this game with, it seems as if communication. They can't get on the same target. They can't create any cohesion in their build. It's tough. It's tough for them.
And notably, both Raptor and Bad News decided to go for the height of the Urchin, too. What's going on with these comms? The Blink comes through, Peaceful has to burn the beads and the taiko drums, but the drums are dealing some massive damage right now. Baba in the house trying to throw some fire down. The Peaceful very low. He does fall here. Grenadian Bacon finds Terminator, though. Finds himself a double kill onto Bulldog. It's now 3 for 2. They're looking for more. Boy, Greatness very low. Just a sliver of health. Blink comes through. Grenadian Bacon finds the triple kill now. And he's looking to make the Titan his quadra. But there's no minions around for this push. They are going to be pouring in relatively soon. Fire minions on the right side, and the regulars coming up the left end here. Going to pour into this Titan room, and there's 4 down for the Ferrymen as we hit the stasis mode at the apex of the game. I love you, Smite. Never change, my friend.
I was going to say I don't know that they have the damage to complete this, but Hunbath has crit.
He's got the crit. He's got the crit and 2 tanks and minions coming in. There's no way that Phoenix is going to stop him. And here we are coming back into things. But it does seem that the Knights are backing off. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I'm disappointed.
Kind of wanted to see that happen, but it looks like they are going to try to see through the Phoenix anyway.
They're going right back in. The Fire Minions have arrived. Grenadian, get on the Titan, my friend. Your team is already there. Your minions are already there. Raptor still trying to survive here, but the Titan is not doing as good of a job of it. He's going to go down, and the Obsidian Knights are going to take game number 2. Nicely done.
They were just trying to deke us out. That's what they were doing, Spooky.
They baited me. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. I was excited, and then I was a little sad. And then they came back, and I was excited again. And then they left the throne room, and I was a little sad again. But then they went back, and I was excited again.
They're creating that roller coaster for you, making a good game to watch for all of our Smite fans here.
That is going to do it for game number 2 there. Obsidian Knights take the victory. And it was a roller coaster of a game, not just at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bad News had so much impact in the early game and even into the mid game. But as things progressed, it became clear that the Knights just had a really much stronger team fight. Whether it was the draft, I wouldn't say it was the draft necessarily. But the team coordination just seemed to kick up a notch. And it didn't really look like the Ferrymen had an answer to it.
No, the Knights really got to the point where they could team fight, and they were still even in the laning phase. And then they turned it on once they got to that team fight, and that really, once they started getting together, the game was pretty much over. They rolled.
Absolutely. And, you know, you can see a little bit of the story there in these numbers across the board. You know, Peaceful Mind, maybe he's only 1-4, but he's got 15 assists and almost 25,000 player damage. He was putting in some serious work in these fights here. And that's because Wolfman Sam and Grenadian Bacon, they're able to lock those targets down so effectively. But, my friends, that's not the end of this set. As you know, it's tied 1-1. We're going to find out who wins it in just a little bit here.
You can end it, and then I'll just restart the stream player. I don't have to talk, so I can't be diffed by my microphone.